Girl, I am sitting on the couch.
You sound like me when somebody FaceTime me. What you want? Sitting on the couch.
I'm literally in the dark listening to a playlist.
What playlist are you listening to?
It's something my friend put together on Spotify. It's called Abstractive Mood.
Okay, you should send it to
Yeah.
me. I'll listen to it.
Yeah, it's like 10 hours.
I'll listen to it.
Cool. Are you going somewhere?
No, I've been wearing scarves for like the past week
Okay.
because I didn't feel like doing my hair. I had it twisted under the scarves, to
Yeah.
still protect it. But I'm like, okay, I'm over scarves. So I washed my hair and now I'm gonna braid it.
Yes.
Um, and yeah, I'm filming another YouTube video tomorrow, so I just like don't want to wear another scarf, and also want to be cute.
Heard it. Well, it looks
Mhm.
cute.
Thank you. Congrats on your placement.
Thank you.
That's
Yeah,
like really
it's
big.
thanks. It's just been happening. I'm thankful for it.
You've been putting in the work.
Well, that too. That too.
Karen, we cannot ignore the work being put in.
Yeah, but I didn't like seek her. I just happened to meet her. So that's why I was saying like it kind of just happened. But like I definitely have been working. I just
Hmm.
didn't really like consciously seek that connection out. It was met with me. So it was cool.
Right, but you were like prepared too,
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
helpful.
being prepared and stuff. But yeah, I seen you in here. I told myself I want to become more, well, I am becoming more digitally present. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and just like putting aside my ego and just being like, this is me, this is what I be doing.
Right.
Um, just so I can leave a stronger digital footprint because it's only going to become bigger over time.
Mm-hmm.
And I just feel like I want to be a part of the train.
Mm.
And I feel like a lot of people who are granting themselves like success or have a big digital footprint or are creating one every day. And that's what I want, some longevity. So I also like that's why I started my YouTube channel. Well, being more intentional with it instead of casual,
Yeah.
you know.
What do you feature on there?
So before it was just like 1 minute videos because I didn't have storage on my phone.
Okay.
But I paid for that. I wasn't paying for iCloud storage, which I thought I was. I don't know what I'd be doing. Um, and so I was just going to like museums and galleries and just sort of like showing those 1 minute snippets.
Mm.
Um, but then I was like, what do I need to do? So I started, researching on YouTube. And then I came across randomly, I don't know if you're familiar with Kelly Stamps.
Mm-mm.
Well, Kelly Stamps has a YouTube channel and it's just really organic and kind of dry humor, um, but like engaging. Like
Okay.
I could binge watch her channel for some reason. And I was trying to figure out like what is she doing? And she has this playlist called 1-800 Stamps Tech Support or something like that. So I was like, okay, let me see. And she said the plus side of starting a YouTube channel in like 2020 or later is that there's so many people who've already messed up who can give you the
Mm.
blueprint, because I think some people always think it's too late, or intimidated by like numbers, thinking that they can't do it, but you literally can do it. Um, so I was like, okay, like I'm gonna try this out. So I increased my what is it? My time. So instead of 1 minute videos, I do like 10-minute videos now.
Okay.
10 to 15 minutes. And basically, like the one that's showing that I share tomorrow is like I got into art school with this portfolio. So like showing
Yes.
like stuff like that. Or sometimes I might like be cooking or sometimes just like random stuff. Painting in my studio, visiting a museum or gallery that's either free or like low cost. Because sometimes
Mm-hmm.
I'd be going to exhibitions and people are like, oh, like, how did you go? Like, and I'm like, it's free. Like, all you have to do is RSVP online
Yep.
and go.
Yep.
Um,
And some of them have free tickets too. Like I don't know if the bro costs, but someone gave me two free tickets to go.
I
Well, I'm
I
assuming
think
it
it's
does. If
free,
it, oh, okay.
but sometimes even if it's free, you have to RSVP for like head count purposes.
Oh, okay.
And then sometimes a gallery or a museum can be free, but maybe they have like a special exhibition,
Okay.
and that sometimes can like cost like a different type of fee. But for the most part, the things that I do are like free, but like sharing that with people, and I felt like there weren't. I have yet to find anyone on YouTube that looks like me
Mm-hmm.
or necessarily does what I do or is in the stage that I am in. um, just sharing transparently, like, or like, like how to write a proposal. Because I was writing
Right.
hella proposals just researching on Google.
Hmm.
But I never seen that on YouTube, at least one that I wanted to watch,
Mm-hmm. What were you using the proposals for in your work?
to get placement. So, like, girl, I was going rogue. I just knew I was tired of showing at like underground shows, right? So I went on Google and I would be like, oh, like, how can I get in a gallery, right? And so, or just like a space, maybe like a cafe or like, when I showed at Reparations Club. So
Mm-hmm.
what I would
Mm-hmm.
do is I would look at my art and then I would look in their space and I would say, I think my art can fit here and aligns with this space, or I align with this space. And I would write up like, hi, my name is Sunny Mullen. Um, I'm interested in your space. I've come here before, and like I purchased this or I came to this event, just to let them know I'm acclimated with the space.
Right. Right.
And then I would send them like a PDF of works that I feel like would go best in the space, and like what the work means and the dimensions and the sizes. And sometimes it was a no,
Yeah.
and sometimes it was a yes. And I would just be like emailing back to back to back. And I got a lot of no's, but the yeses that I got were like
Right.
really amazing. Because I did 6 months of solo shows just based
Oh,
off
wow.
just
Of
sending
those proposals?
proposals. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah. I was just like all throughout. I was in Post and Beam. They invited me to do 10 pieces, but what happened? I think the pandemic or something. So I wound up just
Mm-hmm.
being six. Reparations Club had a solo show at Stay Gallery in Downey. Um, I forgot where else. Yeah, I forgot. But I have to
Okay.
look. But
Yeah.
I just like did hella stuff. Okay, braids.
Cute. Cute. Symmetrical.
But just like stuff like that. But like people would always come up to me, like artists, especially those that were like my peers or
Mm-hmm.
just didn't know how to navigate. And I would literally look at them and tell them, I don't know how to either. Like, I really don't. I'm just Googling all this stuff and I'm literally going rogue. Like, I had some nasty emails come back too to me saying, like, you can't just submit a proposal. But sometimes,
OMG.
no, sometimes it was aggressive. That's the story time for a different YouTube.
Okay.
But sometimes it was aggressive, but like I didn't know. I would just be like, hey, like, do you have a submission process? Or sometimes people would say, sometimes on galleries' websites, they'll let you know if they're accepting like just random submissions. And then there's like open calls and just different resources. But there's a lot of artists who just don't know that.
Right.
But I would be on Google for hours on end, like taking notes and bookmarking stuff and emailing stuff to me. And people were like, oh, how'd you get this? Or even like with grants and stuff. But it's free. It's all out there for you. You just have to go find it. So I want to be able to share those types of things on YouTube without it being so like feeling like it's like out of touch or out of reach for
Mm-hmm.
people.
There's a grant recently that I came across. I'll share with you if you haven't heard about it already. And I'm blanking on like what exactly who's hosting it, but I know it's like they are offering damn, I'll send it to you. It's a residency. That's what it is.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
residency, and they I think they also provide like money for your art supplies during that time as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um And yeah, I'll share it with you.
Yeah, sure. Because all of these resources are super helpful, and I think people just don't know where to begin, um, especially like post pandemic. Because
Mm-hmm.
I was on the ground, like I was walking into places, I was catching the bus places, and that for me is easier to be able to meet people in person.
Right.
I'm not like a huge fan of hitting people up digitally that I haven't met in person. It's kind of, I don't know. Sometimes I will like, and I've gotten like I did that with Lauren Halsey when I was able to interview her. I DM'd her. I was like,
Nice.
"Hey, I have this podcast. I wanted to know if I could interview." And she was like, "Yeah." And I was like, oh, "Okay." I like, I wasn't expecting a response. I just said, "I know what I'm expecting for myself, which is just to show up." Um, and she said, "Yeah, but like little things like that." People are like, "How are you you did that?" I was like, "I literally DM'd her." Like,
Right.
you
Right.
know, you can do all these things and just showing up for yourself. But I hadn't seen that on YouTube, so I was like, I'm gonna just start putting that on YouTube, and hopefully it helps because I find that people who are successful, however which way
Mm-hmm.
you decide to define
Right.
that, are providing value. So sometimes you have to take a step back and ask yourself, how are you providing value for other people? Because the art world is slowly, like very slowly changing,
Yep.
and you don't have to be like a recluse. You don't have to be what you think an artist is supposed to be. You could just be yourself.
Right.
So,
Yeah. And there's so many facets to it. Like I applied for this apprenticeship at the Broad. I'm still in the like interview process, but I made
mm-hmm.
it to the final round.
Period.
So we'll see.
We got it.
But
Period.
yeah, but it's an art handling apprenticeship.
Oh, that's so
And so it's like
cool.
I'd be working on the behind the scenes of like what's happening in the gallery and in the museum. And like I've always just, I mean, I don't mind like obviously hosting things and stuff like that, but like my mind works the most freest. I feel like when I'm behind the scenes organizing and orchestrating an experience for people. And so yeah, like I'm really excited, and it's definitely a career shift because like it's a serious like job,
Mm-hmm.
but we get a mentor and it's like 9 months, it's paid, and I'm just like, call my name.
They're gonna call your name. I think that's amazing because I've always wanted to do that. Plus, you meet so many cool people. Plus, you don't know
Yeah,
what artwork you finna pick up. You're gonna be
right,
touching all
right,
types of works,
yeah,
and then you just become like more informed, just about like the space and events and how can that like inform your life overall. I think
mm-hmm,
people should just go for these jobs that they feel like are like not really their lane. You don't know what your
yeah,
people are your lane. So as long
yeah,
as you can talk to people, you can pretty much do anything.
yeah,
That's what I took home. Like you could literally do anything. You just have to know how to communicate, talk to people effectively,
mm,
and as long as you remain grounded in yourself, like you can pretty much get any job. Like
yeah.
you can do anything. I think that's tight. They're gonna hire you for sure. That's lit.
Thanks. I'm excited. I'm excited. I just look forward to like what that's going just the change and like the transformation that's going to take place in my life just by being like in the atmosphere and doing that job. So
Mm-hmm.
um it's already slowly changing me, but yeah.
I think that'll be fun.
Yeah. And I'm
I
like,
think
I'm bring all my friends. Like
period. Like
everybody's coming in now. We all about to be there.
everybody's coming in. I think that's lit. Because there's a lot of people who began as art handlers and then
Mhm.
it turned into something else for them. Especially people who work strongly behind the scenes. Because honestly, behind the scenes is where it's at. Like I like being behind the scenes too.
Yeah.
Um, like you said, like to cultivate and curate an experience for other people to enjoy themselves and immerse themselves into. And I was just like daydreaming earlier today. I said I'll be able to do that. There's just like certain resources that I need, so I have
Mhm.
to invest in myself first to be able to cultivate other spaces for people to like enjoy and experience. Because
Yeah.
I feel like that's like my forte. Like, cause my mom
Yeah.
used to do that, you know?
I was
So
literally thinking about, okay, go ahead. No.
go ahead.
No, I was thinking about something that my mom had presented to me. Like what you're saying, my mom is an artist as well. And like I mean she's like way into it, like sculptures. She'll pick up she's just great. Y'all should meet. But but she was like, yo, like she didn't say yo, but she was like, I want to do another art show together because we used to do art shows together called Outside World. I was probably like
Aw.
20, like 22, like 21 and like 23. We were doing these, and it would be like an art show opening with like a showcase. So I would like bring my friends on to perform, and it'd be like an opening for like the art show. But I was like, yeah, like I'm down to do a show, and I was like, but let's think of like a place that's like you wouldn't normally see an art show at. Like,
Mm-hmm.
like obviously we could find a venue, but I'm so over like doing the whole venue thing and like at least at this point, like I want to push my mind to think at space differently. So I'm gonna reach out to you because we have an idea for
Mm.
like how to do a show. It probably would just only be up for like a few hours or so because of the location that we're choosing, um but yeah, I think it would still be a cool experience to try to host.
I think considering space is important. Like I said, like it's changing. So it's like, I love a good gallery space with bright white walls.
Of
Even,
course.
even though I know people have like iffy about that, but I also enjoy when, so like sometimes I binge watch fashion shows and
Mm,
it's not always on a traditional runway.
exactly.
So like thinking about exhibiting art in that way is a good way to like cultivate new experiences because I mean you could get a white wall at any time, but
Mm-hmm.
sometimes like I watch these fashion shows and I watch them like, you know, they walking through gyms or they outside like Pierre Marchis did his show at a
Mm-hmm.
home that was Madame CJ, who was it? Yeah, Madame CJ Walker's home.
Mm-hmm.
um Virgil just did a show. I'm pretty sure it was in a gym. Like it looked like a gym. Like I'm like pretty confident. You know, they build stuff around it,
Yeah,
but it's not the traditional like we are inside at this fashion house inside of a runway. You know, like on
exactly.
the side of a runway. So I think that's a good way of looking at how to view and exhibit artworks too. Um,
And they even have outdoor gallery spaces now, like where they're building those like those um I don't know if it's called an outdoor gallery, but like it's like pretty much they just will build a wall outside, like, all for like 3D and hang artwork on it. And it's something like it's an installation outside where people can like walk around through it.
mm-hmm.
Um, so that's becoming more of a thing. We were trying to do that for Juneteenth.
That would have been
Well,
a
I guess
lot.
I think we did. Well, we did our what we could,
Mm-hmm.
but like we got some really nice pieces like donated to us from Insecure, and
Oh
we did
wow.
like hang some artwork up on Gallery Row, but like where we really want to go with it next is like a full on like outdoor gallery.
Because people like those like um I guess I like to call them like immersive experiences.
Yeah.
Spaces where the people activate the space,
Yep. Yep.
you know, and since there are no rules, you're able, as long as you execute it well,
Mm-hmm.
there's really no rules. I'm really big on like detail. So it's like even if it's outside or like not in a gallery, like for me in my mind, like the work has to be pristine, the
Yep.
execution has to be pristine, like every basically do nothing without intention. Everything has to be like on its P's and Q's. I love information, so like having information up about the artist and X, Y, and Z, because people like to
Mm-hmm.
activate and go through, which is why like big museums are get crowded because you can activate the space and go up and go down. And also people on social media like Instagrammable moments. So it's like,
Mm-hmm.
you know what
Mm-hmm.
I mean? You got to take that into consideration too. And then also like figuring out like what's your target audience? Is it friends and family? Is it collectors and buyers? Is it going to
Mm.
be like people who want to award you grants? Like you just have to figure out like what the target audience is, and then kind of like
Mm-hmm.
cultivate it to that audience. Because I mean, you could show work, but if you want people to like sell work while also others are exposed to work, because what I found is one time I showed in Compton and people were touching my artwork and I was so like angry.
Ooh.
I was so mad, but I realized that there are some people who've yet to be exposed to certain environments, so they really just don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And I think having those types of spaces in areas where art is neglected, like on a public level,
Mm-hmm.
to showcase it, that is consistent in different places, so people just know that one, it's possible to create art. Two, people look like you create artwork, and three, kind of like uh, visiting gallery etiquette,
Mm-hmm.
because some people just don't know. But how do you know if
Yeah,
you've never been exposed to it?
exactly. It's
Mm-hmm.
like people that wear socks at the beach. I'm like, why are you wearing socks at the beach?
I'll never understand that.
But they're not used to being at the beach. So,
mm.
I mean, at least people that I see wearing socks, I'm like, I know that they haven't gone to the beach that often. And so it's like, oh, it's cool. Like, take your shoes off, take your socks off.
Take the socks off. Please ground your feet. Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's funny. That's true though.
So, yeah.
Exposure is key. Um,
Mm-hmm.
that's why I'm just like, okay, let me just tell people what I know. Because people hit me up and they think I have all these answers. And I'm always like, I'm genuinely learning at the same rate y'all are learning. Uh, I'm just using Google.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
just using Google, or, like if someone, like I asked you, like if you had a website, if someone has a website, like I'll look at their website, or like if they have a newsletter, I'll subscribe.
Mm-hmm.
Um, just like, those little things go such a long way because people work so hard um, for their businesses and for their brand. And so, like, to support them in any way you can should be like a no brainer,
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, it should be a no brainer. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. But thank you.
Well, thank you for joining.
Yeah, I was like, well, here we are.
I'm like,
This was
let me just
fun.
be more present and talk to people. And honestly, it's been really like nice to do.
Yeah,
So I'm just gonna keep doing it and just kind of see what happens. Whether it's one people, two people, or no people, I'm just gonna keep doing it.
that's good. That's inspiring.
Yes, shout out to Instagram for inspiring me and YouTube. Mm-hmm.
Cool. Well, I'll
Well,
be in
enjoy your
touch.
evening. Okay, I will too.
Thanks. Bye. Peace.
Bye.